Hey, this show on stream. Good morning. I'm lost. I can't find my video anywhere. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Oh, thank God we got a second video. Thank goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness. All right, hopefully you can hear me. I'm on my alternate webcam. For some reason, my main webcam just stopped working where it was working 10 minutes ago. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin, and this is my coffee, my dad fuel. This is my coffee, and I am Kevin Martin, a mindset coach with positive effects, coaching and hypnosis. Mm-mm-mm. I hope your coffee, tea, or whatever you have to drink this morning is as good as mine. It is fantastic. My wife made that for me, and it's just really, really yummy. Okay, today, October 15th. October 15th. It is, wow. Again, I can't believe doing this week to week. All of a sudden, I look back and it was just August, what seems like a couple weeks ago. However, this, for me, I am back in my home office. Yes, my home office. I've been away for a week because here in the Tampa area, I'm in Newport Richie, which is a little north of Tampa. And, I just returned home this weekend to fortunately and thank God find that my house was in perfect condition, no water, no damage that we've seen, and just some yard pickup, cleanup, which I've yet to do. So we're very, very thankful because there's so many people in the area that didn't get away with that. So many people are just watching. There's still people in John boats going down their streets, helping other people. It's amazing. We had two hurricanes in a row, 2 weeks between each other. Exactly 2 weeks between each other. It's amazing, and you hear the statement, the cost of paradise. And we moved down here because it was looking like a great place to be, and it is a great place most of the year. And this year, our area took two hits, one after another. These are, I've experienced, I think, four hurricanes here so far, and those last two, one after another, were devastating to a lot of places down here. Okay, I am thankful and I am grateful. I don't have my gratitude cup today, but I am truly grateful. And as you all know, I think gratitude is one of the most powerful and effective states of mind and emotions that we can have for ourselves. I'll say it again. I said it many times. It's been said to me many times. The more we are grateful for what we have, the more we'll have to be grateful for. And what is gratitude? Gratitude is just that feeling of thankfulness, that feeling of being blessed, that feeling of, hey, you're I'm very fortunate and I want to be thankful for it. Who you're thankful for depends on you. I'm thankful to God for this. You can be thankful to God, the universe, nature, whatever it is, a higher being of some sort. Or if you believe your inner self or your higher self, you can be thankful to that as well. Anyway, anyway, I am, it's the October 15th. What do we have for Mata Hari? Mata Hari, you ever hear of Mata Hari? She was a famous, famous spy, or at least thought of as being a spy. She was an exotic dancer that danced throughout Europe, from Russia all the way to France, and she had many lovers that were in the higher echelons of the military, especially in France and stuff like that. And they found out, or they really suspected, that she was a spy for the Germans. This was right before or as World War I was starting. And she got executed on this day in 1917. Interesting fact, interesting trivia with her, is she got executed by a firing squad, and she refused the blindfold. She wanted to stare at the people that were shooting her in the eye. And so, also another thing is, I love Lucy. Growing up was one of my favorite shows to watch. Hilarious stuff. Lucille Ball. It debuted in 1951. The Grand Ole Opry broadcast, 1953. I used to listen to the Grand Ole Opry radio show on NPR, and or also on, I think it's still on Sirius Radio, and some great tunes, some great bands that still play there all the time. And another famous birthday today, Marco Polo. Marco Polo, born in 1254. Yeah, a little while ago. A little while ago. So that's this day in history. This day in history, October 15th. Oh, another thing about October 15th, anyone who got extension for their taxes, today's the day. Today is like April 15th, but this is the extension day. All right. All right. What are we talking about today? Well, I was watching the news today, and they had their doctor on. This every major news station does, and they have the consulting doctor. And we were talking about the floods down here and how people have lost. Some people have lost everything. And he said, if you're going into depression, if you're feeling really sad or depressed, the one thing you can do about it is you can help others. And it's those people who are in those areas where they've lost everything, there's plenty of room, plenty of opportunities to help others. And it's true. When you're in a sad or very weakened state of mind, and if you get up and act, especially act in the service of others, your mind goes away from yourself. Your mind goes away from yourself, and you feel better helping others. One of the natural things that we are as humans is when we see or perceive others in worse shape than we are, we start to feel better about ourselves. So when you're helping people that need the help, and you're not worrying about your own needing your own help, you're feeling better about yourself. And he said acknowledge that situation that you're in. Acknowledge that situation that you're in. So I'm not talking about service. I'm not talking about helping others today. I'm talking about acknowledgement. I'm talking about really acknowledging what's happening to you. Because sometimes we like to deny. Believe me, I'm one of those people like to deny. Good morning. I assume, again, my Facebook isn't carrying the names over, so I'm not seeing the name, but I assume that this is Brenda. Good morning. So acknowledgement is a big thing. Let's take a look at some of the quotes we have today. All right. Acknowledgement is the first step towards healing. Acknowledge that you have a problem. A lot of the times we love to deny, especially in the mental health. No. This isn't, I don't really have that problem. So we will deny it. But acknowledgement is the first step towards healing. And I think Alcoholics Anonymous has that too. Acknowledging that you're an alcoholic is the first step to healing. So, yeah, acknowledgement of your problems, of your issues, what's going on is the first step. Acknowledging the truth about yourself is the first steps toward change. And change, hopefully, is change for the better, the healing. Only then you can work on being the best version of yourself. Now, this kind of said the same thing that the first one did, but it added to it. When you acknowledge the truth about yourself, sometimes we tell lies about ourselves to ourselves. We deny things. We say, okay, I'm okay. Acknowledging the truth about ourselves is the first step towards change. Only then can you be the best version of yourself. And sometimes, and it does happen more often than not, it's not that we are purposely lying, it's that we don't know. We don't know. A really good friend and business partner of mine, Lisa Schermerhorn, wrote a book saying, in every belief, there's a lie. And in the word belief, you have the word lie. So it's a nice trick in there. But we all have beliefs that aren't true, and a lot of beliefs about ourselves. And we don't know they're not true until something hits us in the face. But when you can find it and you can acknowledge it, that is the first step of being the best version of ourselves. And last one, the simple act of acknowledging the existence of people, their thoughts, and their emotions can make a profound, I can't read the rest of it until it comes scrolling around, a profound difference. Now, this is acknowledging things about other people's, because sometimes we like to deny things about other people too. So the simple act of the existence of people, their thoughts, and their emotions. This goes a little further than acknowledgement about ourselves. This is actually acknowledging, hey, people out there, they have their own thoughts and they have their own feelings and they think differently. And I've said this many times here, and I've said this many times to my students and my clients. A big problem that we have is we tend to think other people think exactly as us. We think that, or they should be thinking exactly the way we do. If we acknowledge that they can think differently because they are different, because they have different upbringing, different culture, whatever it is, that's the start of really good change as well. That's the start of profound difference that we are acknowledging. So that's it. So it's all about acknowledgement. And it's acknowledgement is basically saying, hey, I know. I know is this is it. This is happening. Now I'm going to bring this a little deeper because I had this experience and I had this learning 20 some odd years ago when I was at a Tony Robbins, um, excuse me, a Tony Robbins seminar. Yes, I have walked on fire. Both Brenda and I have walked on fire. I've climbed 40-foot posts and jumped off. I've done the whole thing, fasted for 6 days, and did everything through the Tony Robbins seminars, and it was great. But he said if you've got a feeling inside that's distracting you, say you got a feeling you got the call of nature, for instance. He said the first thing you got to do, instead of ignoring it, is acknowledge it. First thing you got to do is acknowledge it and say, hey, I know. Thank you for letting me know. By the way, that was actually the very first thing, is to thank that part of you when it's all about yourself and it's all about different triggers, different emotions, whatever it is coming up. You thank that part of you for being there, letting you know something's wrong, and acknowledge that it's there. And for that particular problem, it was basically say, hey, I know that I have to go, and I will, but not right now. So it was not an acknowledgement. I know that I have to go, and I will, but not right now. And you know what? It does work. I think it's 9 times out of 10. Once in a while, it doesn't. If you really, really have to go, But yeah, it's really wild. It's really cool. So when you have something going on inside, and you could do that for other things going on inside. Maybe it is pain. Maybe it's just a feeling of sadness that comes upon you, or a feeling of fear that comes upon you. You say, okay, thank you for letting me know. I know that I need to be cautious. I know that I need to be afraid of what could happen, but I need to work this through first. So what you're doing is acknowledging the feeling, and then you're working with it instead of against it. And I always tell my clients, I said, when you don't like something about yourself, you're not liking yourself. Well, if you've got a problem, if you've got a disease, or you got something about yourself that really you don't like and actually you hate, what you're doing is hating yourself. You acknowledge it and you work with it. You acknowledge it and you work with it instead of against it. Because every time you go against that part of your mind, the old brain, every time you go against it, you might win a battle or two, but you will never win the war. It's pretty wild the way that part of your mind works, that subconscious part of your mind. But it's there. All right. All right. This has been another great talk, or at least I thought it was. Simply acknowledging yourself is a really good thing. Oh, I see good morning, Dad. So I know that user is not my wife. My wife did say she was there. That user's got to be my son, Antonio, who gets on every once in a while. Good morning, Antonio. Good morning, Bram. And good morning to all of you who I may not be seeing your comments. Remember, do some inner discovery and acknowledge the issues, the problems that you might have, because that's the start. That's the first step to getting over them. All right, all. Take care. Bye.